Alrighty, brew. Hey guys, we are live. Automation Hub Television, and tonight we have, like always, we have a special treat for you. First of all, we have a new car for Garneau Automobile, and above that, we're going to talk about a few news that um, deserve talking about, I dare say. But I'm going to wait with that until the chat room has filled with a few more people. And without further ado, I'm just going to start to build a little car, maybe something fancy, something nice. Now, I'm not going to make it a secret. The idea is that our little car company that we have been running since, I think, 1947 has progressed over the years already, already for 50 years now, nearly 50 years. And the company has progressed, it has grown, but during the last years there has been a necessity to make some changes. And those changes include that instead of trying to compete with the big car manufacturers, Garneau decided that the best thing for them to do would be to build cars in smaller series for a smaller crowd of people, but to make the cars a real special treat for these kind of people. So what they did, and actually I can show you that real quick, what they did in 1987, here, that was the Garneau Post F1. Because something happened 2 years before, like actually, well, not 1986, so it was 1 year before. Alain Prost, maybe some of you are familiar with that name. Alain Prost won the Formula One World Championship, and that was special because he was the first Frenchman to ever achieve that. Now, Garneau is a Belgian company, Belgian. Oh my God, my English. A Belgian company, but with very strong ties to France. Most of the buyers came from France, apart from Belgium, and therefore Garneau decided it was time to make a special car for this occasion. So what they came up with, while the car disappeared here, I'm just gonna have it build up bit by bit. Actually, that's a nice effect. Was this. As you can see, obviously very sporty. That was the goal from the very beginning. And as you know, maybe the French, when they are calling their national football team, they are screaming "Allez les Bleus," and therefore the car is bleu or blue. And it is technically not very advanced because the main focus was just to have a driving car, a car that was really fun to drive, a car that was really delivering a good feeling of the surface you were driving on, and of course having not too much focus on anything else but just the driving part. So there is no actually, let me check, is there or is there not? Yeah, right, there's no power steering. I thought I did that, but I wasn't sure. There's no power steering whatsoever. The interior and entertainment, well, the interior is premium because I imagined that it had to be leather. So therefore I decided that that would be worth premium. Otherwise, pretty much standard entertainment, standard safety and everything. And as for the engine, we have here a 2.5 liter 6-cylinder, I think. I think it's a 6-cylinder, yeah. And let's have a look. Yeah, it's a 6-cylinder. Jeez, I forgot everything about this car. Holy crap. 6-cylinder engine, 2 liter, 2.5 liter. Actually, with quite sophisticated materials, as you can maybe see already. We have here the mechanical injection, which is very expensive, and even in a throttle per cylinder configuration. Excusez-moi. I have a little French frog in my throat, it seems. So this engine, well, I mean, for 1988 and a 6-cylinder, 2.5 liter, 210 horsepower is not that much, but it delivers the power pretty steady and helps to speed the car up to, I think, 220 kilometers per hour or something. So yeah, the main focus is on sportiness. The car is not very tame, but I think design-wise it is okay. I kind of like it. It's simple, nothing too fancy. It of course it doesn't really fit into the 80s. That was not a typical car for the 80s. It could have been more like, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s, like a sports car, like a Ford GT type of thing. But Garneau did this in the end of the 80s to celebrate Alain Prost successfully, I say. So let's see. Let's take a look at the chat room. We have the D1234 Wadude, which is a familiar name for me. I greet you. I hope you're fine. If you don't feel like chatting, that's okay. I'm just gonna keep talking anyway, in case you even have the sound on. But right, so what's gonna happen? The year 1992. No, let's make it 1993 actually. Is gonna come, and Garneau thought, what else to do? Now they've covered the sporty part, but the car did not sell as good as they hoped, simply because it was rather expensive, because of the sophisticated engine, and also the body that was quite time-consuming to build. So for the next car, Garneau decided it was time for a little different approach. While they still wanted to make a sporty car, they also wanted to make it more approachable for more people, which is only logical because after all, they need to sell cars and make money this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a car with, well, actually a good question, material. I'm tending to choose between corrosion-resistant steel and glued aluminium. Of course, both have advantages and disadvantages. You can see it real quick here. While corrosion-resistant steel in 1993 is rather, well, not cheap, but it is not exactly expensive. Tooling costs are also moderate, and the safety is quite okay. While aluminium is rather costly. Because big advantage is the weight. Another advantage is there is no rust with aluminium, but material costs are very high. So we'll have to see what we're going to do. I think I need to drink something for my throat. This is really horrible. I'm thinking we're going to go for glued aluminium because the advantages are bigger than the disadvantages. And after all, this is going to be a car that is, again, built in an amount of maybe 6,000 cars overall. So it is a very small series, and it should be different than what you can buy for everyday use. Right, so let's see, make it double wishbone, McPherson strut. Well, double wishbone is better. While as a disadvantage, maybe you can see that even, you have less space in the engine bay, because a double wishbone is quite, yeah, takes up a lot of space. So we will only be able to insert a smaller engine if we go for double wishbone. But we do want to build a sporty car, so we're going to go with double wishbone in the front and in the back. The car will be, wait, actually, will it be, not so sure. Perhaps rear-wheel driven. We're going to see. When there are going to be more people in chat, we can maybe make a little poll about that. For now, we're going to go with a corrosion-resistant steel as panel material, because the car cannot get too expensive. And now my favorite part, the designing. Actually make it a 1994. Much better. You can see here, this is not a Ford Escort. And Weasel has arrived, I see. Hi Weasel, how are you doing today? Oh, and the D123 War Dude has awoken hi to you again. Oh, and he poses a very interesting question. How do you guys think cars would be if America never existed? I am guessing by America you mean the United States as an influence on the car market. I would for sure say that the V8 engine would be a lot less popular, because I think that this is what the United States are popular for as far as cars go, a V8 engine. And I don't know if there's any other country that would have been building cars like United States did in the 70s and 60s, with very big proportions, a lot of chrome, not a lot of understatement, but rather the opposite. I think that would have been something that I don't think any other country would have attempted, because it's just a different philosophy. I mean, as far as I know, there were a few cars from Japan from the time, the early Nissan Skylines and Hondas and all that. They were not as big, but they also tried to make the cars look very fancy. And the inline six wouldn't exist. That I do not know. I think that Europe knew about a six-cylinder engine as well, because it was actually built in early race cars, I remember. Smaller race cars, but nonetheless. So, yeah, I mean, the knowledge to, use more than 4 cylinders or more than 5, 6, etc. cylinders, 12, etc. That knowledge was there. That was not something that came from the United States. And let's not forget where the engine was actually invented. That was in Germany. So that is not something that would have come from the States, but just the way that they look at cars, the way they define how an automobile should look like. That is something very typical with the traits that I mentioned, I would say. That's what I would say. It's my opinion. Anyhow, you can, of course, keep discussing this issue and raise a few more points. I'm just going to morph this little thing so it really wouldn't look like a Ford Escort, because we for sure do not want that. What we do want, however, is a very sporty car. Well, not very, medium sporty, a bit sporty, and I'm gonna try to make a really cool engine for this one. Maybe you guys know the Honda S2000. It was a rather special car, and it kind of goes into the same direction. Oh, hello, Herr Leonardo. How are you doing? How are the studies going? my favorite topic to ask you because I know you hate it. So I'm just gonna keep asking you. Meanwhile, what else is gonna happen here? Gonna make the front longer and possibly. Oh no, that cannot be morphed. Okay. Hello, Pickle Plays. People are arriving. That is lovely. I welcome everyone. I hope you have a good either afternoon or evening, depending on where you are on the planet. And I'm very glad that you came here because tonight we're gonna make a special car. Hopefully, we're gonna try. Actually, should this be smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger? I'll make it smaller. I cannot move. I cannot morph the windshield in the front at all. That's very interesting. Okay, fine. Whatever. I didn't want to anyway. Good. Now that a few people are here. All right, vacation still. The furniture stores. You're gonna move out? You're gonna move somewhere else? What's happening? Or you're just gonna get complete new set of furnitures? A sofa and a dinner table. Well then, I happen to know that choosing actually either oh, is surprisingly difficult. Oh, and Wadude. I'm just gonna call you Wadude. I'm just gonna get rid of the numbers. I don't want to say them every time. Um, I do not think a V8 would fit in here. It is not supposed to be a very big engine anyway. We're gonna see. First, the design. Okay, this was gonna be small. Ah, we have this. Right. Let's make it stand out. Oop. As much as we can. Arch these out a bit more because it looks stronger. Indeed. Exactly what I wanted. Okay, we'll change the color to, I don't know, we're gonna change the color later. This red is always very forgiving when it comes to putting on the fixtures. And yeah, maybe you notice I have 2 new fixtures that I just downloaded this evening. They were made, wait, who made them? Cubby made them, right, Cubby made them. He said that they are kind of like 80s headlights, and I think that's very fitting. Okay, so Leonardo is moving homes. Apartment nearby, that sounds very good. Pickle Plays wants to have a turbo i4, and Wadude wants a 3.5 turbo V8. So we have completely different concepts here. The turbo idea, I will not discard it completely. I was aiming for a normal aspirated, naturally aspirated, but then very high revving. In reminiscence to the Honda S2000. In case you guys don't remember, it was a street car, not really a race car. Very much for the road, but it revved up to 7,500 or even higher, maybe even 8,000. And we're gonna try to get into that direction somehow. So let's see what these headlights look like. Okay, interesting. Very big. Make them smaller. But they're nice. It's kind of for the, I usually say it's kind of for the lazy people, because I know that most people when they design cars, they kind of build the headlights more or less themselves. I sometimes do that too, because the results you can get, of course, are much more interesting, because there's so much more that you can do. Simple as that. But these look nice. Kabi did a good job, like always, I would say. Oh, and by the way, you guys, in case you haven't seen yet, there is a new developer video. It is, if you're on Facebook, you can see it on our Automation Hub Facebook. There's a link to the YouTube video, and there's going to be a newsletter on Automation Hub as well to that. If you're looking for the link, and if you're too lazy to look yourself. And Kilrob speaks about very interesting changes going towards the Steam release. He said that the complete UI flow has been improved. I think that's fair to say that it has improved, so that you don't have to switch all the time between the testing of the car and the various stats that you want to change, which is a very big improvement because you can now stay pretty much, well, not now, but later you will be able to just stay in the, let's say, in the brake department and see right away what changes have what effect on the car stats. Yes, Leo, very correct. Improved, not finished. And Viper the Great, hello, welcome. Good to see you. And yeah, it looks very promising. And Kirab also said that there is going to be an open beta before actual Steam launch. I mean, which is just logical because, of course, they want to really find all the possible bugs and have the game as good as possible when it goes on Steam. That is just the quality that we are kind of used to from our developer guys already. Oh, thank you, Wadude. 9,000 RPM. And yeah, Pickle Plays, as for your question, I think generally, of course, the nitro oxygen, I don't know what the S stands for. I'm not a chemist either. But these type of things are rather smaller details. You will certainly agree with me on that. Um, However, as far as I know, since the developers plan to switch the game engine, the engine that runs the game right now, the engine that produces the graphics you're looking at right now, it's going to be changed. And I remember that Duffy said that when they change it, that any type of changes for the game, be it even structural changes, be it a different type of engine, a 5-cylinder perhaps, whatever he was thinking of, will be easier to implement as well. So whether or not this is going to change in the future depends on various factors. Till then, of course, it depends on how well the game is going to sell on Steam. Depends on maybe they're going to get, maybe they're going to increase the size of the team members to have more hands working on the game officially. Because I mean, already we have an awesome community that mods a lot of stuff, like the headlights we're looking at right now that were done by Cubby. But this is all unofficial. This is all coming from us, from the community. So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to see and wait, and it's only gonna be a month, a bit more than a month, until we're gonna see a few more updates, and I'm really looking forward to all that. Ah, company name, all right. And yeah, of course, it's only a temporary increase of the octane and therefore getting more power out of the engine. Actually, I'm thinking maybe we're gonna do these. Oops, not here. They should not go here, really. All right, I think that works. Some nice, geez, what are they called? Head-up displays, head-up headlights, flap-out headlights. Jesus, I forgot the word. You guys can help me out. At least 45 days, you say? In case you guys didn't know, Leonardo actually is a beta tester, so he has some more insight into the current standings on the development. So that's a rather precise estimate, 45 days minimum. That will be more than a month, of course, a little bit more. So kind of end of February. And then we're going to see. Until then, we have a lot of models and fixtures to play with, and we are going to do just that. I'm thinking we're gonna want a lip in the front somewhere, wherever I can place it. Right, and very good. Get it smaller. Eventually, it has to go all the way around, and it doesn't. But anyway, and then that's that. Okay, now we do need some kind of air intake in the front. The last game update, I think, was in August, yeah. Yeah, and then a smaller one after that. But in the next update, there's going to be a lot of new things. I mean, just starting with different rims to choose from, the ability to make different model families again, so you have a better overall workflow when you're designing something, and bug fixes that we have carried around for a longer time, including, I think, the fact that now that we have so many more fixtures, and I can show you that real quick. When I switch now, this is a very common thing. Everybody with extra fixtures has this. It's not a game-breaking bug, but nonetheless, it's a bit annoying. And all these things are going to be fixed as well. And the new multiplayer modes, right? So there's a lot to come, and of course, we from Automationhub.net, we're going to keep you updated on all these changes, as well as automation itself, naturally. And I'm now thinking what I'm going to do with the front grills. Am I going to choose a classic grill or not? Maybe I'm going to put some vents. Let's see what we have here. What do we have here? We have this. Looks a bit like a nose of a very big animal. They need diesels. How many times we have heard the diesel request? I would agree to disagree, because for me personally, a diesel engine will not add a lot of diversity into the game, because a diesel engine, first of all, it's time taking to implement it, and second of all, it doesn't give that much to the game. The main thing for now was to improve the UI, so that designing a car is not only easier, but it also gives as many information to you as a designer as necessary at all times. These things are crucial because the game is going on Steam. That means there's potential community of I think 85 million people worldwide that are becoming potential buyers for automation. Because you guys gotta keep in mind, automation has not been doing that much promotion up until this point. And moreover, the game was so far only buyable through their very own website. So, I mean, you gotta understand what that means. Unless people heard about it from somewhere, from maybe people like us who play the game, or if they Googled it by whatever reason, out of their own interest, then there's no way they would even find the game and know that it exists. So this is a huge deal that it comes on Steam. Right, anyway, enough with the marketing talk. Let's get back to the real deal with the noses. Just experimenting more or less anyway. Just want to see what we can do here. That looks very familiar. I've seen this before somewhere. Let's do some more. Ooh, that looks weird. Should fix. No, that doesn't fix it. But this should fix it. Whoops. Now that I don't know, it has something. Oh, Pickle Plays. The developer team originally comes from Australia, but they moved to New Zealand for logistical reasons. Kind of there was I think a better environment for game developers in New Zealand at the moment in comparison to Australia. That's why they moved over. I mean, it's not a very big jump, but nonetheless, you can see that they're very committed to this. Keep it like this. Then the classic, but there's going to be not much space for this one. Ooh. Perhaps a bit wider, so that it stands out. Okay, that's but now we still have this big front here that it looks very scary. Yeah, I guess it plays a role as well that New Zealand overall has a bit lower living costs. Right, I'm thinking again what I'm going to do with the rest of the front. We do need some fog lights, but the question is how are we going to integrate them? Let's see what options we have here. Since it is 1994, I think some plastic on the car was very popular. Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm ripping a hole into the front as we speak. Interesting. Whoops. Well, that looks interesting too. That's a completely new approach to aerodynamic. but that's a bit scary. Not gonna do that. Whoops. By the way, who made these fixtures? Or maybe it's probably not the fixtures, it's probably the model that does it. Probably not enough material. But it looks weird. It looks like it's I don't know, spreading out to the top. Not cool. But I'm thinking I'm gonna make a plastic front lip. Right. As soon as I am allowed to. Yes. And make it go nearly around. That even looks better than the one in the same color as the car, I think. Hello, Gappy1231. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you here before. I hope you have made it into the new year in a good way and that it has started properly. And I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing? I'm still thinking what to do with this front part here. Design-wise, of course, there is a possibility to kind of continue what we started here, to have holes in the chassis, just vents that are hole-shaped, sort of like these, perhaps, but smaller, like really small, possible, and then flip them around a bit, see what that does. Looks quite nice, possibly good, but we do need something in the middle. Okay, perhaps these. Make them go a bit wider. This. Trying to get a 90s feeling into the car, where the design was a bit crazy at times, a bit unusual still, not because actually these days, if you look at cars, they kind of look more and more alike. The real cars, not the one that are made with automation, luckily. There we have quite the diversity, which I'm very happy about. But in reality, I think cars look really more and more the same, and there's hardly anybody who dares to make something really different. But Garneau, they do. Oh, they do. Oh, how they do. See, does that fit? No, not yet. Too high. There. Yeah. In fact, let's give it another set. In case it gets really foggy, then you have an extra set of fog lights. Why not? I think it's a good thing to have. Same size. Yeah. Little bit of space in between. And there you go. What's that? It doesn't look like fog lights yet because of the background, but I have an idea how to change that. No, not with these. Actually, interesting. We do have this problem with the grills, but now that I have to scroll down for the headlights, there's no Failure notice. What, dude? You want to give me a challenge? What kind of challenge you want to give me? You're welcome to try. But it's not that easy to challenge me, you know. I've seen some shit, so. Oops. Makes it a bit more. Oh. I don't know if you can hear that, but I think there's at least a V8 passing by outside my place. Is that the same size? Not nearly. No, I moved it in the last second. Ah, my mouse. Ah, yeah, that should fit. Okay. Make a minimal of 3.5 liter and a crossplane that revs to minimal of 10,500 RPM. For this car, I do not think that will fit. But we're gonna give it a try. Just for you. We do need something for the license plate. There you go. And I think that is all gonna need. Okay, now the rear end. 3.5 liter V8 that revs to 10,500 with minimum 400 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much of a challenge in general, because when you have to rev that high, you will have forcefully have quite a high power output, because you will not even reach 10,500 without a lot of heavy equipment. Let me put it that way. Okay. Taillights. What can we do for taillights? Let's see. Okay, before we do anything else, we're gonna make 2 holes here. Those 2 holes are gonna be for the exhausts. They're gonna be not very wide, just so that the exhaust pipes will fit in there. Let's see what this looks like. Bit smaller. Yeah. Okay. So you can tell that they were carefully placed there. Regular gas. What exactly for you would be regular gas? That could be something between 91 and 95 octane. Would still be considered as regular, at least in theory. That looks good, I think. And then gonna need some, well, okay, not that small. And actually you are allowed to move, yes. Hello. What? Perhaps a bit smaller, a little bit wider, a little bit wider, like this. Integrate. And then on the outside, we're going to try to squeeze some indicator. See if that will work out. Not that wide though. Same. Yeah, that works. All right. Lowest quality. Yeah, well, that is the killer, of course. That will not work. Because then you have to go so low, even, I don't think even with Tech Year 1994. That's not going to work. That will not work. Besides, it happens so that I happen to hate the low quality gas. It's my arch enemy, so to say. Really hate. Not cool, that stuff. Right. I think this needs a wing. Don't you guys think this car needs a wing? I think it does need a wing. At least a bit smaller one, maybe this one. Maybe this one will do already. A bit wider, of course. Maybe a little bit bigger. I like that one. I think that should do. It's not going to be a race car. It's still going to be a normal street car, only with a bit sporty note. Okay, that's for design. We're just going to see what color we could possibly use. I'm really looking forward to the free color chooser. Oh God, I'm so looking forward to that. Leonardo, you agree? I mean, and I was also thinking I would want to have something that you can choose a general color, and then say if you want to give the, I don't know, like maybe a sunroof, you want to give the sunroof a different color than the rest. Maybe not this black or dark, but maybe gray, maybe white, maybe I don't know, whatever. Maybe stripes, you know, this type of stuff. Doesn't happen that often. Usually they're very rare, but okay, this color is too much of everything. Actually, we already had blue just for the last car, so let's not make it blue. British Racing Green is, of course, reserved for British cars, nothing for us. Perhaps in black. I was asking if you're looking forward to the free color chooser as well. Yeah, I know, but I mean, if you want to give a distinctive color to a certain part of the car, that's what I mean, because that I haven't seen. I would want that. And I also would want to put stripes on the car somewhere. Oh. Ooh, that car looks like a very strong orange juice. Oh God, no. Oh, white. Well, Well, white possible. I mean, the car would be for summer, so yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Maybe sometime in the future that would be possible. That would be cool. I would like that very much. Okay, let's keep it white for now. Let's deal with the engine because that is the most interesting part. And I'm gonna choose, yeah, 1995 because that will give me a few more options. Simply, let's make it inline 4. Aluminium will do, and the engine will be quite big. Let's see, make it a 2.5 liter. All right. Jeez, it will take forever. There you go. Titanium. Very expensive though. I do not think that would be a good idea. Let's see. Lightweight forged, I think. Yeah. And then dual overhead cam with a 5 ventiles per cylinder. Don't know about the cam profile yet. We're gonna use VVT for all cams. And make it white. Why not? Wait, why is it now different color? All right, anyway, whatever. Naturally aspirated, of course. Of course, with multi-point injection. Yes, single, I guess standard. But we have to see about that. Make it premium unleaded, but not too much. 13.5. Let's put it to 6.5 RPM just to start out somewhere. And then give it, what, tubular doesn't allow more than 205 horsepower? What? Really now? I was aiming for at least 200 horsepower though. I would prefer, yeah, I prefer either premium unleaded or super unleaded. Because these are, I mean, nowadays anyway, the most common types of gas. And well, 1995, regular and regular leaded, of course, still existed. Generally, leaded fuel, I think, was still in use, but well, no, not a big fan of it for obvious reasons. So I prefer this one. Okay, let's just go for long tubular because reasons. High flow three-way, straight through, and see what we got so far. Okay, it could definitely rev higher. But it doesn't look very bad right away. I'm gonna give it a bit more compression, at least 11. Raise the cam profile a bit. At least we have no problems with the reliability so far. Maybe we're gonna make a performance air intake. Probably, yeah. Put this up, make it a 7,000, see how that goes. And there we go. Now we're running into a bit of reliability problems. Let's see which part cracks us up here. Okay, that's the conrods, I think. Huh. Well. Hmm. All right, convinced. Let's go for titanium. You cannot hear the engine? That's weird. Should be able to hear it. Oh, now it's very reliable. That is good. Okay, very smooth too. Now we can start working on the details. Ignition timing up. Now that improved the power output. Somebody remind me to turn my Steam sound down next time. Ah, where is it anyway? Where's Steam? There it is. Oops, fixed. Okay. Nearly at 95 octane. 210 horsepower already though. That is good. That I like. Okay. There was something that I kept open in. Ah, right. Now I know. I remember. Throttle per cylinder. There you go. Well, it's very responsive at least. That is good. Let's try and give it a few more RPM. Oh my, I hope you guys could hear that because that was a new follower. Ah. I'm just gonna wait and see till it pops up on the stream here. Gonna be any second, and then I'm gonna announce your name and I'm gonna read it aloud. You're gonna sing it even? No, they don't know yet. Waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. Don't see anything yet. It's Crystal Jenks. Well, that's a peekaboo. Hello, Crystal. How are you doing on this beautiful evening? And how am I doing on this beautiful evening? I don't know yet. Oh, too much RPM. And we didn't gain any power, really. There's no need to go that high with RPM then. Logical. Peekaboo! Actually, I don't like the looks of the engine. Let's change the style. That is not very different. Okay. What else do we have? Come on, give me all the things. Can somebody say stop, please? Just say stop. Then I will stop. Maybe. Nobody's saying stop. I will continue the whole night. I don't care. Really, I will do it. Because I can. Woo, yeah. All the engine styles. No, just kidding. Let's keep it, this looks fine. Make it white. It looks fancy. Like it. Okay. I guess we can give it more cam profile without... Oops, never mind, we cannot. But a bit. What? Not even. Okay. So 50 is the limit. By some reason. Interesting. However, we can raise the compression a bit. There you go. 215 horsepower, nearly. What about if we go to 11, yeah, 0.2. What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. That looks good. It only revs to 6,800, so we are nowhere near that Honda S2000, but we're not Honda, and it's not 1999 either. It's 4 years before that. Wow, and math. So this is fine. I think this is fine. 215 horsepower. Engine is moderately expensive only. Very responsive though. I like it. Let's see how it does on the test parcours. Oh yeah. Music to my ears. Lovely. Okay, moving on to the trimming. This trimming is like swimming. It's very glimming. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop. What does it say? Estimated top speed 221 kilometers per hour. Let's put it somewhere there then. A bit less spacing, perhaps. Give it sports compound tires. Oh yeah. 17-inch. Yeah. Nice tires. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. So far, so good. Everybody has gone rather silent. Sometimes I fear that maybe nobody hears me. Nobody knows I exist and nobody pays attention to me. So sad. But then I realized this is all just television. So nothing of this is real anyway. Ah! Alright. Anyway, let's this is the rear. Let's give it good size in the rear and moderate at the front. Isn't that a beautiful car? Actually, I think it is. Breathtaking. Isn't it? Isn't it? Somebody say something, please! I did this. I made this. Right, moving on. Next part. Under tray. No. No under tray. Under tray is for filthy casuals, which we are not. We are most dedicated car designers. Downforce. We gonna increase the downforce in the front massively. Just gonna have a small lip there anyway. And a bit more rear downforce, but we're gonna see about that. Yes, it isn't. What? Weasel! How dare you! I'm gonna tell Rover that you're making a mini model. How about that, huh? Then you'll see who's laughing. Ha 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 ha! Make it a premium interior. Less insulation because we want to save some weight. Standard 90s entertainment, I guess. But we do want power steering, yes. We do want anti-lock braking system, yes. We do want traction control, yes. And premium safety, because why not? And then sport, but even more. Very stiff. And a bit lower. Let's see. See what that does. I cannot see. What is that? Why is it? It always compares the stats to the last car that I was looking at. Not fair. Not a fair comparison. The car is nice. Yes. 5.6 seconds from 0 to 100. That's decent, I dare say. Braking is good. Downforce is a bit ridiculous. Oh, cornering is very good. Top speed is meh. But I guess, well, actually, 26 kilogram. It's not that much of downforce, I think. Handling is rather good. Let's see how it fares on the test track, on the airfield track. And for those of you who test the cars and do not know what time on the airfield track is good, for a car of this size that is a bit sporty, but not a real sports car, anything around 1 minute and 30 would be okay. The less the better, of course. Let's see what we have. Oh, 130. That's decent. Okie doke. The car performs rather well. I would like to give it a bit more stability, lower the maximum roll angle, which I hereby did a little bit. But I don't think that changed the time on the test track. No, it didn't. What else can we do? We can increase this. Ooh, cornering. Cornering, baby. All about cornering here. Right, test track. And faster. So actually, what I spoke about earlier, the dev update video, in case you haven't seen it yet, you can look for Automationhub on Facebook, and then you can see that we have a news about that. And there is a direct link to the YouTube video by Kilrob. And he speaks about one thing that I personally very much liked, that in the future you do not have to, let's say I want to change the gear spacing, yeah, and I can see here how the spacing fares, but I cannot tell exactly, because it's kind of not that easy to distinguish when exactly I have the best power band in which gear. I mean, here I can barely see that in fourth gear it is, I have power only above 5,000 RPM. So that's, yeah, not ideal. Now if I change it, and if I want to know how this affects the car stats overall, I have to go back here and check the car again. And in the future, when the Steam version is going to come out, let's say end of February, March, who knows? And then I can see this right away here, because there will be, but you can see that in the developer video yourself. That is way better than I can explain it right now here. So yeah, actually now missing only a name for this one. As you know, Garneau has the philosophy to name every car after a female name. Very much like meteorologists who name a big storm after a female because it makes sense. Garneau gives this one a name. And if you guys can come up with a nice French sounding name, then I will look at them and then we can choose one. Well, I'm just going to check if actually indicators would be good. Oh, well, I totally forgot. Indicators are not bad. And perhaps here too. Yeah. I think I do want them. They're aligned with the headlights. Not too big. They look so alone there. Let me put another light there. This will be for like daylight driving, so that you can be seen somewhat. Yep, that is fine. It makes the car look a bit more interesting, I think, in the front. And I think we have a rather sporty car. What do you guys say? Do you think anything is missing? Do you think I should still try to squeeze a V8 in here, or is this fine? While I'm waiting for your answers, I'm going to switch back to the trimming part and see if I can improve anything. Ah, that's the maximum already. Okay. See if there is any big crime that I have committed. Anything that takes away from the sportiness. Oh, yeah, like lateral acceleration. Oh dear. Also chassis stiffness. What is CD? CD. What? Okay, seriously, what does CD stand for? I have no idea. Cooldown reduction? Well, that would be CDR, but anyway. um, car damping, crucifix denying. I don't know, but it's bad, very bad. Oh, wait, what? Why did I just? How did that change the what? No. Aha. Okay. So for sportiness, the louder the engine, the better. See how it is. I think I do. And how about none here? Aha. Go. Oh, yeah, that increased the sportiness. And we actually saved 3 kilograms of weight. Perfect. All right. See how that comes down on the test track. It hardly does. But it sounds different. I like that. Dun, dun, dun. What actually would change if we move them out further? What does that affect? Ah, okay. Makes the car a bit more sporty even. I have to say though, for a car with 215 horsepower, I would expect it to go a bit faster than 211. Perhaps too much downforce in the rear. Let's see. Oh, that helped loads. Oh well. But it actually improved the lap time, so that's good. I'm gonna keep it like that. Anyway, the car is ready, I think. I'm gonna call it the Garneau Sophie. Oops. In reminiscence to Sophie Marceau, French actress, who had her big breakthrough in the mid-90s, I believe, with the Braveheart. Braveheart. Oh my God, Braveheart. Yeah, right. Almost. Right. Okay, so this is the Garneau for tonight. I hope you guys like it. And do not forget to follow our Twitch stream if you like what you see. And don't forget about automationhub.net. By the way, in the future, you will find a direct link to Automation Hub right under the stream. I'm going to get on that during this week. And yeah, on Automation Hub, you can find, since yesterday, a big car review online done by Cheeseman with the help of Bart. They did a car review for small cars, and we already started working on the car review for the next month. So you can also look forward to that. And what else? Yeah, don't forget about the developer video for the latest automation news. You can find that also on automationhub.net. You can find it on Facebook in our news section. And of course, when you look into the automation forum. All right, that is it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. I know that midweek streams are not the best as far as participation goes, But nonetheless, I'm very glad that all of you were here. Hope to see you again next time. Next stream is going to be on Saturday, a multiplayer session like always, and you can look forward to that. And until then, I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you on Saturday.